Good morning, everyone. I'm Megan Cullip, along here with Scott Michlin.
Good morning, Megan Cullip.
Hey.
Here we are, Thursday, May 6th.
Week 60.
2021. Is it really?
It is week 60.
Oh, I would like confirmation of that. Not that I don't believe you.
Yeah,
but
thanks a lot. Making me out to be a liar this
morning.
morning.
I don't think, now that I recall, last week I think we were 59, so
Ergo. We're at 60.
Week number 60, everybody. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you with us for our COVID-19 Community Information Program as we bring you up to speed on all that's been happening since we were last together. Coming up on the program today, we have a lot of great guests. Look at that lineup.
Quality lineup. So we have Catherine Abeta from San Juan United Way, right. Ryan and Alec Chang, high school seniors from Farmington.
Giving us some senior perspectives, right?
Yeah, some high schooler perspectives.
Lowering the average age of this program to about 30 years. Yeah. Lowering it by 30 years, yeah.
And Allen Theaters.
Yeah. So exciting news from them. Ooh, jinx.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, but looking forward to it. So there you go. Let's get started, though, with some other numbers and things that we want to share before we get to Catherine Abate, who I know is on the phone, patiently waiting.
She is.
I can see that it's blinking.
It's blinking.
In a Catherine way. So I know that she's
Very
there,
specific.
waiting to go. But the big news has to be, of course, that San Juan County, as well as most of the state, is turquoise as of the map update yesterday. Take a look, right? So there we are. We made it. Frankly, I wasn't sure San Juan County would make it to turquoise. I thought we might stay in green.
Yeah.
But the new criteria, that the state used, allowed us to move to turquoise. Pardon me. And as you can see, a lot of the state is now turquoise. There's just 2 counties in green and 1 county in yellow. Nobody's in red anymore.
Which is amazing.
So that's wonderful, right? Yeah. And so as we've mentioned, the state is hoping to move us out of these whole restrictions by the end of June as we get to hopefully 60% total population vaccinations. So there you are. But San Juan County, we can see, and these are the averages now of this 2-week period, right? So it went from April 20th through May 3rd. And so in order to get to turquoise, we needed to have 2 consecutive reporting periods with meeting 2 out of the 3 criteria. And so I think what saved San Juan County and helped us move to turquoise was our vaccination rate is above that. We're above 50%. And that's a good thing. The state only was asking for it to be above 40%. So we're already ahead of the game. If we can maintain that, because that's going to increase now 5% every 2 weeks, that's what's going to be important for San Juan County to stay ahead of that, to maintain hopefully our turquoise-ness. Yeah. But now I think we're locked in for 4 weeks in turquoise.
Yes.
So that's a good thing. So I think for a lot of folks planning graduations and other gatherings, they can, the schools are thrilled. I think they can now plan for that 75% turquoise capacity limit. So that's a good thing.
It is a great thing.
For all those
if you have
folks.
Not yet been vaccinated,
yes,
get it together.
And we're going to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. But let's go to Catherine Abate, because I know she's waiting, and she's very busy.
She is.
Yes. So let's go to her. She's on the phone. And let's see if she can hear us. She should be able to. Good morning, Catherine Abate.
I can absolutely hear you, and I'm so glad you got my special blinking light.
We did. It just, when you're on the hold, it blinks differently. That's all I can say.
We're not going to reveal that.
Yeah, exactly. It must be the special bat phone you use to call us or something. I don't know.
I know, and I'm wondering if it's because I'm on a Zoom meeting too, actually, with our local nonprofit agencies, and I'm just muted, and so my bat signal could be going crazy right now.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for multitasking with us.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, that is what 2021 is all about.
Very true, and 2020
and 2020. Yeah, I almost forgot what year we were in. But thanks for reminding me, guys. 60 weeks.
60 weeks. Yes, ma'am. That's true.
We are making it so far, and I'm really excited just to share some of the highlights from last year of what the community was able to pull together and ask us as United Way to do. So we were pretty worried that come April of last year, we weren't sure if we'd be able to collect pledges because nobody knew if they'd have jobs. A lot of things were day by day. But since April 1st of last year until now, we've San Juan United Way, just in our community, has helped raise or facilitate over $1.5 million. And that's just of our community's donations. Or we've actually helped bring in almost $250,000 in emergency food and shelter funding. And that's actually, there were appropriations from Congress over the last year, and so we were able to get a ton of funding out additionally to some incredible programs in the community that were providing food and shelter.
That's amazing. Congratulations. And I always want to disclose to the audiences that I'm a proud board member of the San Juan United Way, so it's always great to be able to work with Catherine and the rest of the committed board members to make some of the things happen. And I'm not sure how much I contributed to that, but the public really contributed to that. So it's a great thing.
What is your attendance rate like, Scott?
I don't keep track of that, but I bet somebody does.
I know somebody who does, but
Yeah.
don't worry, Scott.
Right. I do a lot of multitasking too, I'll have you know. But yeah.
In addition to the both of you being generous donors to United Way, both of you provide a platform for us and the nonprofits, and that is a huge value. I mean, I honestly don't think we'd be able to raise the amount of money we do if we weren't able to have these platforms, because how would the community know what the need is and how to fill it? So I appreciate you guys so much. You do a lot. Thank you.
Well, you guys are fun to work with, and we love this community. So let's talk about, usually in a campaign season, a non-pandemic season, you guys go around to businesses, present in person. That did not happen this year. So how did you guys do that this year?
Oh, man. So this year, that like over 90% of what we raise is somehow tied to an employee's payroll deduction. And if we can't come and ask and show you what the need is and talk to you in person, it was really hard. And so we started doing everything digital and virtual. We kind of, did everything that everyone else was doing. And so we actually even went as far this year as asking our agencies to put together a video which would stand in place of what used to be their written application and live in-person presentation. And so by putting this together in video, we were able to send this to so many companies, and a lot of the employees were able to see probably more about United Way than we were able to show them in 5 minutes in person. So in some ways, there's definitely some benefit, but we know that we missed people. We know that there's people that, we didn't get to see them this year. So, it was a challenge for sure, but I think we're getting through it. And digital and video have, I think, saved us.
Very good. And Catherine, I wanted to pick up a little bit on what you mentioned earlier about getting some extra monies in from other sources and being able to funnel that to agencies that can best, I guess, provide some of those services to the most needy here in our communities. Yeah. And that's, I think, what you all have been focused on these last 12 months, in addition to the regular campaign, the regular fundraising that the San Juan United Way does year in and year out. Today, 60 weeks in, are we still seeing bigger demand from our agencies, from folks who need these programs that are available in the community?
I would say yes. It does tend to change based on what program and based on what kind of outside help is available. So United Way, the good way, I think the best way to think of your dollars at United Way is we're helping to make sure that the program and the people who are most at need have the resources that outside funding doesn't cover. And so last year there was lots of opportunity for funding when it was needed, and we were able to take an extra role in advocating at even higher levels to bring in more money for the program. So because we already worked so closely with these programs, we knew of the need. We knew of the needs rising, but then also throughout the year, sometimes there'd be additional appropriations of funding. And I know that our food banks were luckily we're given lots of funding, because basic needs are a huge issue when we're in the middle of a crisis. And it's something that we don't always have enough money or food on hand. So that fluctuated a lot. And now we're actually starting to look in the future. What we're starting to really worry about is rent and utility assistance and eviction problems. And a lot of the safety net issues that come from that sort of problem. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I was actually going to ask you to look forward to the future. You guys have your finger on the pulse of the community. I mean, that's when I talk about United Way, that's always what I say is it's convenient. You take the money and you guys know exactly where to put it. So,
Thanks.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Catherine Abeta, for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And I'll speak for myself, Scott, but I think you would join me in saying how encouraging it is that giving continued and, in fact, was bolstered during this time.
It's very
I know.
encouraging.
It's so awesome. This community is so awesome. So we're going to get through this together. So
We are.
thank you guys so much for having us on and, again, being such a good platform to get the word out about so much stuff in our community.
Very, very good. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much, Catherine.
Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
All right, thank you. That's Catherine Abeta from the San Juan United Way, our guest here on our COVID-19 Community Information Program. We do have an update on the case maps that we have been getting from the San Juan County Office of Emergency Management. I hadn't seen any updates last couple of weeks, and then boom, today we had one. So we are sharing them with you this morning, everybody, because we can see, again, the numbers of cases in New Mexico, and in the red line on the screen, San Juan County in blue, Navajo Nation in green. These are San Juan County cases, the weekly case numbers, and you can see, of course, the big spike in New Mexico there, which happened back late 2020. And then things have kind of come down, went up a little bit in January, then coming back down again. There's a little bit of an increase more recently, but again, as the vaccines roll out, the hope is that these new cases are going to kind of taper off. When we go to the next screen, however, which is more local numbers, the San Juan County numbers, you can see the yellow line there. There is a very dramatic uptick recently. As we see the average numbers of cases, again, the numbers of deaths is very low, thankfully. And then the goal of the red line, which is a little bit higher because of the new changes that the state made last week, so that line would be a little bit higher, but not by much. But you can see that we're not under it anymore. We were back in March, but since April, the cases have kind of gone above that average, and they're really trending up, and so that's not where we want to be.
No.
So thank you, San Juan County Office of Emergency Management, for putting this together and publishing it and letting us share that with our audiences each and every week. And speaking of San Juan County Office of Emergency Management, we want to send out kudos to none other than
Mike Mestis.
Congratulations, Mike Mestis, named a hometown hero this week from a visit by Senator Martin Heinrich. Earlier, received a flag that had flown over the U.S. Capitol. Mm-hmm. And so, kudos to him for his work during the pandemic. I think that was primarily what Senator Heinrich was mentioning, but certainly Mike does a lot of other things, and he's talked about that too with us since, from Gold King mine spills to wildfires to pandemics.
Droughts. Yeah.
You just name it, and he's involved with it to help the community. So kudos, Mike, and thank you. He's been a guest on this show, of course, numerous times. So we appreciate all that he does. We have our next guest, and I think they're calling in together.
They are calling in together.
Is that the plan? So I only see one blinking light, so that's okay.
That's my hunch.
Okay.
Speakerphone, Scott.
Okay. Shall we find out?
Let's see.
All right. Good morning. You're on KSJE.
Morning.
Hello.
Hey, is this Ryan and Alec Chang?
Yeah.
Good.
They're thrilled. They're thrilled to talk to you, Megan.
I know. They're like, why did Megan drag us into this?
Right. Thank you, gentlemen, for calling in this morning. You both are seniors, I understand, at Farmington High School, correct?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And brothers.
Yes.
Okay.
Classmates, brothers. I'm sure that gets interesting. So we have a litany of questions for you guys. We haven't had students on here in a while. I don't think we've ever had high school students. So.
I don't think we have.
Congratulations.
I think they have probably not wanted to call us.
Yeah, 9:15.
This is the reason why. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
the brain is still working.
Right. They're studying. They've been busy
I'm sure.
studying all year.
I'm sure.
So what do you want to ask the Chang brothers?
I want to ask them what that was like. What was it like being on online schooling? And I guess you guys, also had your year cut short last year. So, Alec, let's start with you. What was it like to stop seeing your friends and have to do school online?
The friends wasn't the biggest issue for me. It was just like the lack of communication with the teachers. It was just harder to know exactly what to do and how to do the assignments the way they wanted to, stuff like that. Keep myself on schedule, things like that. Because I was, Ryan was here, so I still had a little bit of interaction. So, but yeah, it was just lack of communication with the teachers more than anything.
Got it. And Ryan, let me ask maybe a similar question to you. I guess if there was any highlight about this last school year, what would that be?
We got a very long summer and a lot of free time.
Okay.
So, for one, I've started to try to learn guitar with Megan.
Oh,
And then,
I want to learn more about that.
Yeah, Scott's very interested in that.
Speaking of
Yeah.
disengaged teachers, go ahead.
I've been trying to learn some Chinese. I guess I've had a little more time with some friends outside of school since restrictions have loosened up a bit. But yeah, I mean, the free time has been good and bad because it's quite boring, but it also allows us to explore some new things.
Yeah, that's a good use of your pandemic time. I read somewhere that Shakespeare wrote King Lear during the plague, so I guess guitar with me is similar. So both of you guys play sports, specifically baseball. What was it like doing that over this time? Alec, we'll start with you, or whoever was talking. I can't can't get you guys straight.
Uh-oh.
It was Ryan, but it was pretty strange, at least in the fall. I mean, obviously baseball got canceled from us at the end of last year. We were starting our season, but building up to this season, it was really strange because we didn't really know if we were actually going to have one or when it was going to start. So it was really just staying ready without any real objective.
Got it. Very good. And so, Alec, let me turn to you and ask you a bit about graduation.
Ryan.
Okay.
Go ahead. What are your plans? What are you hearing from the school?
Yeah. I'm planning on attending the University of Utah in the fall. So right now, those are my plans.
Gotcha.
And okay, and go ahead, Ryan. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually talking with you last week, but after this school year ends, I'm planning on visiting USC, and then I was admitted to their honors college with 3 different merit scholarships, so I'll be attending there in the fall.
Congratulations to both of you. That's awesome. And then I assume that your schools are talking about having some ceremonies, right, now that we know we're going to be in turquoise. And so
Right.
that should allow both of you to maybe invite more of your family to see you both walk across the stage.
Yes. So right now the plan is to have graduation on the 18th at our football stadium, and we're allowed to invite 4 or 5 people each. I can't remember exactly what it is, but since, me and Alex come from the same family, we'll pretty much be able to invite our whole family.
Yeah, very good. And last question for you guys: have the respective universities that you're attending mentioned anything about what it's going to be like in the fall as this thing drags on?
I can't speak to University of Utah, but I know USC is planning on fully opening, but they are, I believe, requiring their students be vaccinated.
Smart. Well, Ryan and Alec Chang, thank you so much for calling in. I know that 9:15 is not a adolescent's favorite
It's
time.
the middle of the night.
To call. Yeah, exactly. So thanks for helping us out this morning.
For sure. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both very much. Very good. Well, they survived the senior year, the very strange senior year.
Right, exactly. And they survived their interview with us.
Well,
which is perhaps
we'll find out. I'm sure we'll hear more about that a little bit later. But
yeah.
And one surviving his guitar lessons with you.
Yeah, that's really the breaking news.
I think so. I think that would be it. But there you go. All right. But thank you. That was a good perspective because we haven't, as you said, we haven't heard from students.
We haven't
during this whole year, and so I'm sure there are other students who may be having a more challenging time during this past year, more than maybe those brothers were. But again, I think all of them need to be celebrated for getting through it.
Yes.
Because this has certainly taught us a lot this past year. Other things we want to mention, of course, is the vaccines that we've mentioned, to help get cases down. The State Department of Health saying New Mexicans 16 plus can self-schedule to get their vaccines these days. And so, again, that takes you to vaccinenm.org, which we have talked about. There are more places to get a vaccine, however, and so we wanted to mention that as well. The support number for vaccine registration continues to be 855-600-3453, 855-600-3453. And then this is the list we got from the San Juan County Department of Public Health, right? They are having weekly events on Tuesdays 4 to 6 at McGee Park, Thursdays, as we saw this morning here at San Juan College, right? You can call 327-4461 or 469-8036 for more information or for help scheduling an appointment. But I think they're making appointments from the folks who are registered at the state's website. The Presbyterian Medical Services Clinic at the Farmington Community Health Center now offering COVID vaccines, but you must be registered through the Department of Health portal. Sam's Club, you can get a COVID vaccine at Sam's Club now if you're registered through the portal. Smith's Pharmacy through the Department of Health portal. Care Drug, as we've talked to them on this program, of course, and serving customers in the Aztec and Bloomfield areas. There's the phone numbers there at Aztec. You can schedule an appointment by calling 334-6411. Bloomfield, 632-3324 at Care Drug. And again, I just read out those phone numbers for our radio audience who can't see the numbers on the screen. Then we have a whole other page, right? San Juan Regional Medical Center, 609-6810 or 609-6627 to schedule an appointment there. Both Walgreens in Farmington are offering COVID vaccinations to folks registered through the Department of Health portal. Pinion Family Pharmacy, again, have been a previous guest on this program. They are offering COVID vaccines. You can call them at 327-4826 to schedule an appointment. Both Walmarts are offering COVID vaccines now. You can register if you're registered through the DOH Department of Health portal. And Indian Health Service, of course, we haven't talked much about them, but they are certainly doing vaccines on the reservation. The DZ Clinic south of Bloomfield, Northern Navajo Medical Center, can call and schedule an appointment. And IHS is offering several public COVID vaccine events for residents of the reservation. And so, again, the rollout is really ramping up, I would say, right? Seeing more and more opportunities to get a vaccine. And again, all towards what the governor said last week, getting to that 60% full vaccination for 60% of the population by the end of June.
Yes.
That's the plan. So
you have a lot of different
options.
Places and a lot of opportunities. So.
Exactly. And again, as Dr. Scrace mentioned last week, if you have a hesitancy about getting a vaccine, the best person to talk to about that is your doctor, is your primary care physician, the person that you trust with your health and who knows what's going on with your health conditions and your body and all those things. If you have any questions, that would be the person to ask.
Yes.
So there you go. Other case numbers across the country, Johns Hopkins. There they are.
The United States confirmed cases are now at 32,559,283. The United States confirmed deaths are now at 579,302.
Right.
Yep.
So there you go. And again, the daily case numbers are kind of tapering off a little bit. If we look at that yellow graph, so, that's encouraging. As the numbers of vaccines again roll out here in New Mexico and across the country.
Yes.
And that's a good thing. I don't quite think that we're leading in the states anymore as far as the percentage of population that's been vaccinated. I think other states are catching up to us, which is a good thing. But maybe we have some more vaccine hesitancy here than in other places.
Yeah.
And so that's something to be concerned about because, again, if we can't get to that 60%, then these restrictions are going to stay with us.
Yes.
Is what
Yes.
the state is saying. And so that's something that we would all like to see go away, again, as summer comes, to be able to, again,
Hang
enjoy
out.
some of those
Yeah.
things. Exactly. That's true. So I think we have another
Excellent.
guest on the phone who has just called in. So let me go to the phones and say good morning. You're on KSJE. Thank you very much for calling in this morning.
Good morning. How are you? This is Nathan Allen.
Mr. Allen, Nathan Allen, thank you for calling in from the Allen Theaters. We appreciate it very much because this week there's big news, at least in Farmington, for the Allen Theaters, and I'll let you break the news. I know it's already broken, but remind our audiences what's going on.
Well, we're opening the Allen 8 this weekend. We're able to open, and it doesn't look like we're going to be shut back down at least for 4 weeks under the new guidelines. So we're opening up and hoping we can stay open.
Very exciting. And this would be the first time, if my memory serves, in 13 months that the Allen 8 has been open in Farmington.
That's correct. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Indeed. Well, congratulations. And now I guess the next question is, do you have folks to staff the Allen 8 when you open tomorrow, not day after tomorrow, but tomorrow?
Yeah, well, we do, but we only have enough to staff the weekend. So we're only open during the weekend, and then we're going to open on Tuesdays for $5 Tuesday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Tuesday we're open. We don't have enough employees to staff 7 days a week, and we don't have enough employees to open the Animus tent either. So, and it's an issue finding people to work right now.
Right. Understood.
Right. And so is this, I'm sure that there's some restrictions in place, like are folks going to be required to wear a mask? Are certain seats not, open? What's that look like?
Yeah, so good question. So yes, we will require masks to be worn. So our ticketing software, we're only able to go to 33% under the guidelines, but that's 33% of the fire code building capacity, which our seating capacity is, completely sold out. It's probably around 45% completely sold out because of the recliners of occupancy, and so we will space everybody out. Our ticketing software, when you book a ticket, it automatically blocks the seats out next to you, so no one's going to be sitting next to anybody. And so our ticketing software does that for us, and everybody will be safe.
Very good.
From before and after, and the seats, wipe down everything before and after the show, and so we're confident that we can provide a safe environment for people to come enjoy themselves.
That's great. Well, I know a lot of folks have been looking forward to it and missing the opportunity to go out to the movies. You were able to open your Durango theaters earlier this year, but San Juan County seemed to still be not able to open, and now you are, as you mentioned, and for 4 weeks, which hopefully is helpful from a management point of view, right, when you're trying to hire some of these folks to say, we can at least guarantee 4 weeks, hopefully more than that, right? It's had to be a bit frustrating to be open or closed or not know from week to week.
It is, yeah. The yo-yo, it just, it happened. We could have opened 4 or 5 weeks ago. We could have opened, but then we would have had to shut down. I think 4 weeks or 3 weeks later, and so it's just too hard to hire people, gear up, and then to be shut back down again. So we're confident that anything can happen, but we're confident that we're not going to shut down again. So I think our vaccination rates in San Juan County, and people are continuing to get vaccinated, so I think that will help us.
For sure. And I don't know about Scott, but I was when I heard that
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows about Scott.
Thanks, Megan.
But when I knew that Allen was opening back up, I was like, there were movies made this year? Like, I've been so out of touch. And so what kind of
Great
movies?
point.
Yeah, like what kind of movies are being shown? I mean, anyway, I know when the Oscars came around, I'm like, what movies are we talking about here? So what are you guys showing?
We're going to show Godzilla, Mortal Kombat. We're going to show The Marksman and Raya, the Disney movie Raya. And offhand, I don't know the other ones. I don't have it in front of me. I can't remember.
That's all right. But to Megan's point, I guess, Mr. Allen, is that there has been less movies made, right, from Hollywood this year.
There have, but there were so many movies that were already made that were set to show that never showed, that they held back and didn't go to streaming. I'm aware of 30 movies that never went to streaming, that they were just waiting for movie theaters to open up, and so I believe Godzilla and Mortal Kombat and Raya were all part of that. Now all of those went to streaming as well, but I've seen Godzilla in the theater and I've seen it at home, and it doesn't compare. I mean, going to see those types of movies in the theater, the experience, I mean, that's what those movies are made for. So we hope people get excited about it, and hope people see that and go to the movies and still come.
Very true. Well, and I know I can't get my chair to rattle the same way at home that I can in the theater during a Godzilla movie. So
Right.
I hear what you're saying. There's not enough subwoofers in the world to maybe put in the house that my neighbors would approve of.
Yeah, exactly.
To make that happen. So, well, Mr. Allen, we're thrilled that you're able to reopen again after 13 months. The Allen Theaters has a special place, I think, in the hearts of Farmingtonians, being that the company was founded here and started here, and so we're happy that you're able to reopen. And I guess any predictions then for the Allen 10, the Animus 10?
We're hoping. I know my cousin in a Daily Times article said July, but we're hoping to get it open Memorial Day weekend. So the 28th, I think, is that the, I don't know. So I think it's
coming up.
28th is when we're hoping to open the Animus 10, and then we're hoping to go 7 days a week and at least one theater. I'm a little pessimistic about whether we can hire that many people before then. I mean, it's around town. I mean, there's hiring signs everywhere around town. I've talked to a few friends that own restaurants. They're having trouble hiring. The Penningtons at Farmers Market, just talked to them. They're having trouble hiring. So it's
there were opportunities, that's for sure.
Yeah, there are opportunities. If people want to work, we're sending your application. We want to hire you.
Very good. Well, Nathan Allen of Allen Theaters, thank you so much for calling in.
Oh, thank you so much, Megan, Scott.
Thank you. You bet.
All right.
Take care. That's Nathan Allen from the Allen Theaters calling in this morning on our COVID-19 community information program. But young people, other people listening, apparently there's jobs available.
There are a lot of jobs available now in the community, so
I think
take advantage of it if you're in need.
Folks should be definitely doing that. And again, if they can get reopened
consistently
sooner at the mall, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the other cases that we can share with everybody from the last update from the state, of course, and then we. Gosh, that's the show, I think, today.
Yeah.
How about that, right? So we had another 214 cases yesterday for a total of 198,781. 40 new cases in San Juan County yesterday. So, again, that's why that yellow line is going up. Those cases are still pretty high. And I think, as Mr. Allen said, though, our vaccination rates are high as well. So I think, luckily, maybe we're not seeing the numbers of patients at the hospital and other things like that we used to see when cases were that high every day. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to point out. 2 deaths in New Mexico. None of those were in San Juan County, and another 136 recoveries. And so that is good news as well as we check on those. And those we update every day at KSJE.com. Again, the state has not been updating the cases over the weekend. So on Mondays, there's a big kind of influx of numbers for the past 3 days. Saturday, Sunday, and Mondays are grouped together in the Monday update. The Navajo Nation continues to update their cases every day, and they had another 7 new cases, 0 additional deaths reported on Wednesday. And so again, they're at 30,550 cases across the reservation. So that's encouraging news. I think they're still heading in the right direction. Their numbers have been fairly low, which is good to see. So there you go. Again, the testing continues at McGee Park. We'll share that information. Curative.com. You can register. I think they were encouraging last week. We said folks were encouraged to go out and get tested to get those test positivity rates down. I think we were at 7.4, and the threshold was 7.5 with the new state guidelines. So again, if you feel you want to go out and be tested for a negative test to help keep those numbers down, or if you feel you may have been exposed, certainly find out. You can go get tested continuing out at McGee Park at the Curative COVID testing site. So there's that as well. And that, I think, brings us to the end of our planned presentations today.
That's right.
We learned a lot.
Yeah, it was quite a diverse crowd. We had charity, high school students, movie theaters.
How about that? So I think, again, as we, as this show kind of reflects, we hope, what's going on in the community each week when we're here with everybody. And so despite, we have increasing cases, but we also have good vaccination numbers, and things are reopening, like the Allen theaters. And so, again, in restaurants, and now at Turquoise, that's 75% capacity for indoor dining and outdoor dining. And so if folks have been missing doing that, more opportunities to get out there, and as we mentioned, more opportunities for folks to go back to work and work in the restaurant business, and others, movie theaters, and others to help things stay open.
That's right.
We can't open if we don't have staff. So that's important. But other than that, we are wrapping up another show, and we do have confirmation it is 60 weeks. You were right.
Finally.
You were right.
Finally.
I'm only saying that because the Facebook confirmed it. And if it's on Facebook, it has to be correct.
That's a dangerous message to spread. Not necessarily, but in this case, yes.
It's on Facebook from our calendar queen.
Right.
So I knew.
Very reliable
Good as
source.
gold.
She's been here since week 1.
She has.
So we might have to give out awards when everything's said and done and we close this down. Best comments, craziest comments.
Okay. I'll make a note of that.
Troll award.
2029, it's a date. We'll do that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Be a little. I would like my co-host to be a little more optimistic than that.
Okay. All right. Well,
but we will see you next week.
But we're going to be here next week. I'm not that optimistic, but we're going to be here next week because we love sharing the good news as things hopefully do continue to reopen and numbers continue to improve. And so that's why we're here every week with you. And thank you for sharing the program. And have a great week, everyone. Stay well and stay safe. We will see you next Thursday right here on KSJE. Bye-bye.